Then after that hammer-on pull-off, he goes to the G string on the 7th fret, 5th fret, and 4th fret. So so when he goes back down to that A note on the D string, 7th fret, he goes back to the 4th fret on the G string. So then he does that major 7 to root thing again on the D string, 6th to 7th fret. And then he just walks up scale tones. So 4th fret, 5th fret, 7th fret on the G string to 4th fret, 5th fret, and he actually slides his finger at that point, or at least that's what I think he does. It's the easiest way for me to play it. 4th fret to 5th fret on the B string. So it's and then he just goes to the 8th fret of the B string to the 5th fret of the E string. And that's, he pivots off those two notes after he goes 7, 5, 7 on the E string and down to the 5th fret of the B string. So it's and there he just walks down the scale from the 5th fret on the E string, 8, 5 on the B string, and then 7th fret slides up to the 9th fret on the G string. So so the whole thing is I'm sorry. All right, so that very last part actually, when he goes back up that scale, instead of doing that, he actually does. He does. So I think I just showed you. So there, instead of that little pause in there, he's actually pivoting off of the 7th, 5th on the E string. So he goes 7, 5, 7. Then on the B string, he goes 8, 5. Then he walks down the scale from the 5th on the E string to the 8 to the 5 on the B string to the 7, slide up to the 9 on the G string. And then he goes up to this little section up here where it's the 14th fret and the 16th fret on the G string, 15th fret, 17th fret on the B string, and then 15th to the 17th on the E string. But he slides up from the 15th to the 17th. So and there he just pivots off the 15th fret of the E string to the 17th fret of the B string. Then he goes from the 12th fret to the 10th fret on the E string to the 12th fret on the B string. So it's... Then he does this little triplet thing on the 7th fret to the 8th fret, back to the 7th fret on the E string. Then he goes 10 to 8 on the B string. So, and then he slides down from the 7 to the 5 on the E string. So it's So, 8 to 5 on the B string, then 8 to 10, you slide up on the B string, and then 9, 7 on the G string, and slide up to the 9, and then add a little vibrato. So it's then he bends on the 10th fret of the E string to the 12th fret, a whole step. And then he plays 10, 9, or 10, 8, 7. So 10, 8, 7 on the E string. B string is 10, 9. Then the 7th fret on the E string, slide down to the 5th fret. So then he rolls down to the 5th fret of the B string. And then he just kind of walks down the pentatonic scale. So it's 5th fret, 8th fret, 7th fret. 5th fret, 8th fret on the B string, 7th fret on the G string. Back to the 5th fret on the B string, to the 7th fret of the G string. I'm sorry, I think that was the 5th fret on the B string, 7th fret, G string, 5th fret, G string, slide down to the 4th fret of the G string. So that whole part is... So now, just a few things to talk about. Again, a lot of this is coming out of the minor pentatonic scale, thrown in a flat 5 note, or a few other notes. And a lot of it is dynamic. When he does that part where he's doing... this part that he's climbing up and going down, he's really muting the strings. It's not, you know, it's not really loud. It's... and even this part, it's very staccato. It's... So practice that muting and the staccato with the pick, and I'm using a lot of pluck in the strings because you get that really strat sound, especially at the part. If you really pop those strings, you kind of get that thinner, stratty tone. Jimmy Herrings is amazing with his tone setup. He's got, check out some of his videos. He goes through like all his Frankenstein guitars that he's put together with, he's constantly switching in and out of pickups and all this. He uses a bunch of different amps. The guy's just, he's a master of tone. And I remember he used to do some teaching at my school and some clinics and stuff. And before I actually got there, he was a teacher there. And he would, he graduated from GIT, and then he started teaching at Atlanta Institute of Music for a little bit, I think. They were doing some special classes there. And he would always, his tone was just so amazing. And like I said, every video you'd see of him, he'd have a new guitar configuration, all these different switches and all this kind of stuff. And he's just a master of tone. So check him out and go to guitarbreakdown.com and check some things out over there. I think you'll enjoy it, and I'll see you on the next one.